My dear students, welcome back everybody. And today we are going to a new part and a new lecture in the communication. This is lecture 5 in the communication today. And we will talk about the visual communication. Visual means that you can see it. The word visual means that you can see this kind of communication. We'll talk about the nature and purpose of audio and visual aids. What are the audiovisuals and using audiovisuals aids effectively? We'll talk about the how to design it and what to use in it, the presenting statistical information, the design and corporate identity. So here, the nature of the and the audio, the nature and the purposes of the audiovisual aids, visual aids, usually can enhance a good presentation and increase its effective through creating awareness. We are talking about the visual aids now that can create awareness, encourage interest, retaining involvement, achieving instant results response, and describing in one image an entire proposal of concepts being memorable. So all this also because you remember always when you see a video or an audio, you just remember it too much, you don't forget it. And also reinforcing corporate identity and complementing the spoken words. Those are when we decide to use the audio visual effective, the range of audiovisual aids available and their advantage and disadvantage, how to design the audiovisuals, how to make the best use of the audiovisuals as well. So what are the audiovisuals? What do we mean by the word audiovisual? Okay. What do we mean by this word? Okay. Quite simply, visual aids are those items which make use of pictures and visual images, including the written word, in support of an oral presentation. So, like the video clips, like when I do a presentation now, so I'm using the words. We also need to include audio aids because increasingly music or sound effect can be having an impact also. The sound effect and the music has an impact on the decision maker and the audience. So as example, like the projector, the prepaid flip chart, they're using the tape recording, using the flip chart, using here the overhead projector, also using the video. Those all, or the whiteboard, even the whiteboard, which we are doing now, this is also audio visual because you can see it. Okay, how I can use it effectively to enhance the presentation, not detract from its effectiveness, be professionally produced and presented. So all these points, it also depends on the language and the images from one side, the care, how far you care about it, the seating arrangements, rooms, layouts, and design. So everything around you, including the lighting and all this. If there is sufficient technical backup, you don't use effects which could upset your audience. So don't use like a strobe lights, flickering lights, loud bangs. This all upset the audiences. Always make a reference to a visual. Don't turn away from the audience. Try not to obscure visuals. To keep attention, use audio visuals as well. Those are the audio visuals. How to design the audio visuals? Illustrate the point concept you are making or introducing. Reveal a product or image rather than describe it. So show it, take a picture for it, take a video clip for it, but don't just describe it and say this product is blah, 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 like that way. Add a variety to your presentation. Okay. The starting point that you need to be clear about is the purpose of the presentation. The need for the audio or visuals. Does it need a video or audio or no? the most appropriate audio visuals for the presentation, how and when you plan to use the audio visuals. Okay. Using words as visuals. The text is clear, all words are spread correctly, lower and uppercase letters have been used properly, there is a clear margin around the edge. So those are the points which we care about. So one of them is the overhead projector. The overhead projector, which we use always. We use slides. We use flip cards. We use slides and flip cards and videos in the overhead projector as well. So this also, even the whiteboards, we use them also for audiovisual. But the whiteboards, like the board which we use to teach on, it must be clean and wiped. They cannot store materials for references in a flip charts, for example. This is one of the drawbacks. You must have a clear, legible handwriting, because if your handwriting is not nice, so no one will pay attention to it. You need to check the pens and closing all this, also cleaning the parts of the board, so that when someone is looking at it as a visual instrument of communication, he won't get confused. Establish a teacher-pupil relationship rather than a dialogue between presenter and the audience. So also there must be a good relationship between the teacher and the student, as example, so that the projector will get the beneficials from it. The physical objects of it easy to control and present, relevant to the presentation, attention grabbing, large enough to be seen by everyone. And those are the main points. You have also to be using sound effectively, so the sound will be very loud, so everyone can hear the voice. The voice won't be so low down. No. Also, you have to care about the physical surroundings, like the lighting as example, the decors, like the seating and the layout. All this you have to take care about. So as example, if the presenter is here, people can sit around the table like this way, or the presenter can be here, and also the audience or the people will watch it, view it from here around the table. Or the presenter is here, it's like a theater as example, or like a cinema, and there are lines or rows. Or the presenter is here and the people around him in a circle, like, or the presenter is here and people are sitting like a theater seat. Or the presenter is here and the people sitting, those are chairs where the people will sit like. So those are the layouts of small presentation. Those are the layouts of the small presentation. It looks like that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layouts. Firmly ensconced behind desk, very authoritarian, may indicate lack of confidence. So if you sit down behind the desk, that shows that you are not confident of yourself. Table covered with material, presenter, mobile, confident in presentation. So here, like, he's very confident. Needs reassurance of materials, can appear too casual. Here, presenter seated on the desk. Clearly at ease with presentation and audience, not appropriate for very formal presentation. It's not nice to do this and to sit like that way in formal presentation. Same audiences find this intimidating as it is unexpected. So it's better like respecting the people by sitting, like sitting, you sit like others, like standing like this, that's no problem. A confidence but less is not like nice, not nice, because it shows that you are not confident of yourself. We have also, how about the statistical information, like as example, doing graphs or these points? What we will do here? What are we going to do here? All statistical information need to be set in a context which explain its relevance to the points being made. The amount of details needed to be kept the minimum necessary. The source of the data must always be cited. So those are the points which we care about. We have primary data and we have secondary data. So what are the differences between the primary and the secondary data? The primary data is that data which you don't have a previous data like it, so you start to do it by your own self. As example, like the survey or like the questionnaire, all this is primary data because you don't have any data regarding historical data. You don't have any historical data like the library data or whatever. So you go like for investigating in a field study for the first time. For that reason, we call it primary data. But secondary data, no. If we say the primary data, is like, as example, the questionnaire, the survey, but the secondary data is like, as example, like using books, materials, periodicals, all these are secondary data because it's including previous information about it. Tables also, you can also demonstrate the tables, but make sure that each table which you present serve a single purpose. The table itself should have a title or caption. So there must be for the table, there must be a title for that table. As example, the growth in the GDP or whatever. Tables should not contain figures with large numbers of digits. So yeah, the tables, if you are talking about 670 trillion, try to sum up these numbers into small categories. The number of columns and headings should be kept to a minimum. Units must always be stated in the figure of, as example, like this, ages, money, or whatever. Figures showing a relationship such as percentage, ratios, it should be placed as near as possible. So those are, like here as example, the graph, it must be clear and shown up. Like a linear graph could be shown up. All graphs must be given clear but brief title. So a title is very brief, it's not so long. The axis of graphs must be clearly labeled. So here as example, you are talking about as example, the sales. So you'll put the word the sales, it's labeled. And here as example, you are talking about the month. So here, December, November, so everything is clear here. That's how you present the graph. Wherever necessary, grid lines should be inserted by facilitating reading. The grid lines are those, they intersect those dots like that way. This is grid lines. So to make it easy for you. How about the bar charts? And the bar charts is one of the most common methods of presenting information in a visual form. They are similar to graph in that they display the incidence of one variable in relation to another, but are more flexible in that greater amounts of information can be incorporated. Okay, that is about the bar charts. We have many types of bar charts. We have simple bar charts. We have component bar charts. We have histograms. The histogram will display groups, but the simple bar chart will be like a line graph. The component bar chart, like a series of pie charts together, and so on. So here, a simple bar chart. This is a simple bar chart example, like this one. It's a simple bar chart. Here is component bar chart. Like this one. So as example, the number of tractors sold And here we compare the numbers with the years. So in 1969, we sold, as example, from this type in the area of the North or Midland and South. So how many we sold in the North, the South as example is very gray. So we sold in the grass 25 tractors. The Midland we sold like around from 30 to 40. And the North we sold from about 40 to 60 and so on. That all in the year 1969. So this is component bar. How about the histogram? I will give you a figure of the histogram so that you will not forget it. Class interval and the frequency. So this is the histogram. It looks like a stairwell. But of course, this example of histogram, it looks like from to. As example, the income. As example, if we are saying the salaries, here are the salaries. So managers who take from 15,000 to 19,999,000, they are around those like around 2,000. Then managers who take between 20,000 and 24,999, or around 10,000 managers take this amount. Managers who take between 25,000 and 29,999,000, those are 6,000, and so on. So we call it histogram. The pie chart, it looks even like its name, like a pie. You divide it. How we will divide it? As example, this is 15 and 20, 35 and 65. This is 100%. So this 15 is out of 100, so it's 15%. This 20 is out of 100, so it's 20%. The 65 is out of 100, and this is 65%. Then you draw based on each part of the whole area of the circle. Okay. This is about using the pie charts. We have also from alternative forms of pie charts, and you can see it also in Excel. You can see also in the pictograms is another figure. How about the lettering? The lettering is how your bond writing, how it looks like. As example, Roman, Algerian, Andalus, all these kinds of writing, the styles of writing which you use, Times New Roman, like that way, Times New Roman PS. So it change in the way you are writing, and this is another way of also the colors associated with the anime or the video or the audios that will affect the work. So this is as example figures. It shows how the present audio visuals can help also in enhancing the sales of, or enhance about the sales or whatever. Shall see you on the next video. Thank you so much. Stay safe. Have a good day. Bye-bye, everybody.